So in the afternoon session we saw that action everybody, all of us have to do. And if we learn how to do that action with a mind which is calm and quiet, where we are happy, then success will be a byproduct of that. So going ahead with that, in this Gita chapter 3, if you take page number 13, we come to verse number 5. We also saw that action can be done in such a way that it can make us more and more quiet. And the more and more quiet we become, more and more successful we become in our actions also. So here we are now in verse number 5. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishthatya karma krita karyate yavasha karma sarva prakriti jay gunaihi. So he says here, nahi kaschit kshanamapi, not even for a single moment a person can be without action. Do you agree? Yeah. Every moment we are doing action. What about when we are sleeping? Heart is beating, breathing is going on, thinking is happening. Every minute we are doing some action. Nobody can stay without action even for a moment. So he says here, nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtati akarma. Without action, nobody can stay for a moment. Karyate yavasha karma. Everybody is pushed by nature to act. So now Gurudev is to tell us that action is the very signature of life. Meaning, how do you know that somebody is alive or not? Because action is happening. The moment all action stops, what happens? Person is dead. So actions end only in the grave. Actions don't end till then. So we don't have choice about how to act, whether to act or not. Even if we don't like, some action will be happening. So only choice is then in how to act. The difference between us, or difference between ordinary people and great people is that they know how to act, when to act, and they use action in such a way that they achieve great things. So if we learn that art of how to act, we will definitely learn to become very, very successful. So life is a constant series of experiences. They come and they go, one by one, one by one. And in that, as a human being, we have a choice, how do we face that life? Like you have a cell phone. In the cell phone, that incoming call is free. Like that, experiences, challenges, problems, they come to us free. We don't even have to ask. One is not over, other is waiting for us. How a person faces them determines what that person will achieve in life. So just like if a phone call comes, it is your best friend calling, or your boyfriend or girlfriend calling. And in a boring lecture you are sitting. What will you do? Take the call. Hi, what's up? Start. If it is your mom calling, cut. friends, and mom is calling constantly, where are you? Why have you not come home? Can't. So you choose whether to attend the call, whether to divert the call, whether to put the call on hold, whether to cut the call. Every one of us has a choice, right? So in life, we all have a choice. Tell me, did you come here by choice or did you come here by chance? Everybody came here by choice? Pakka. Some of you may be here because of you had no choice. Your mom and dad would have said you have to go for the camp. Otherwise, I will not take you to Paris. Some Paris vacation, some London vacation, Switzerland vacation. Very few people actually exercise choice and come. Those who exercised, excellent. Those of you who chose to follow what your parents said, that is also choice actually. So each of us, you know what we are going to do now is, this hashtag is very famous. All of you know hashtag. So we are going to have these nice lines which will be with hashtag. Hashtag karma matters. Punchline, so that we remember. That destiny is not in the lines of your hand but in the grasp of your palm. How many of you believe in destiny? That there is some destiny? That some God sitting up there is writing something? Right, great. And everything in our life is according to the lines in our hand, lines in our forehead. So we'll see, tomorrow we have a debate on that, fate versus free will. Whether we can control the fate or not. So anyway, here a nice point Gita is saying that we all have a choice. Destiny is not just in the line, but how you make the use of the present moment. Right now also you can be sitting here, listening attentively, grasping the knowledge, making your mind sharp and better. Or you can be thinking, what order should I place? Already I placed the order margarita cheese pizza. And they said 1,000 rupees only we can do. That pizza must be at least 330 rupees. What else can I place as an order? You may be thinking that, that's your choice. Or you may be thinking, today evening there is a movie after dinner. What movie must be that? I hope Shah Rukh Khan is there in that. Something. Shah Rukh Khan is old now. Yes. Who is the latest? Varun Dhawan. Somebody. So each moment we have a choice. What we do with that particular moment. How we face that particular moment. And moment by moment how we choose our life. How we make our choices, we build our life. And so, grasp the present through your karma and make your future matter here and now. Karma matters. Hence, to act or not is not a choice. How to act is the choice. And so, there are three ways to act. One is very tamasic, dull, inactive. Other is reactive, constantly fighting, constantly getting disturbed, constantly disturbing other people. Or proactive, that is sattva guna, where mind is quiet and you are alert, you are efficient, you are achieving everything you want, you are balanced. Which is the best way to act? Inactive people can't achieve much. Reactive people, they will waste a lot of energy. For little work, they will spend so much energy. Constant reaction. If they have to read 2 lessons, to read those 2 lessons will take maybe half an hour. But constantly they will be disturbed. Talking to somebody, chatting somebody, disturbing somebody, goes on. With that half an hour work, they will take 3 hours. Reactive. And proactive people, most alert. Hence, proactive karma is what matters. Gita teaches us how to be proactive in our karma. We should maximize our proactive karma. We will see verse as we go along. Certain verses will tell us what is proactive karma. So now here, when the Lord says that there is no choice to act, there is only choice in how to act. So now he gives us two examples. One is of somebody who is a hypocrite, who is very dull, externally doesn't do anything, keeps on daydreaming. That is verse number 6. And verse number 7 is somebody who is a great achiever. So let us see. Verse number 6, we take page number 15. Karmendriyani sanyamya aste manasa smaran indriyarthan vimudhatma mithyacharasya uchyate. So here is a person, karmendriyani sanyamya. He has kept his body quiet, he doesn't do anything with his body. Very dull, not doing anything actively. But his mind is daydreaming. So doesn't focus on the action, doesn't put his mind whether it is to studies or to any work at hand or anything given to him or her. Person is not physically doing, but just sitting and daydreaming. That now I am going to go here and now I am going to do this, and now I am going to eat that, and tomorrow when my order comes, my order is going to be the best order. Nobody would have ordered like I am getting. One goes on daydreaming. Yeah. Karmendriyani sanyamya ya aste manasa smaran. So physically he is not doing anything and mentally daydreaming. What has happened? Body and mind and intellect, they are totally disintegrated, they are divided. We are where our mind is, remember this. Where our body is, are we there only? Or where our mind is? Where our mind is. Physically you may be here, but mentally if you are somewhere else, where are you? In that place. We are where our mind is. And if you want to be successful in action, you have to bring the mind where you are right now. Those people who are able to do that, their concentration is great. And so this verse number 6 tells us, Indriyarthan vimudhatma. That person goes on imagining about sense pleasures, enjoyment. Nothing wrong with enjoyment, but if it stops you from doing your duty, your action, then there is a problem. So if there is some exam at hand and you have to study and you have to complete an assignment, you have to meet some timeline, and you are not physically doing anything about it, mentally one is imagining. Tomorrow with my friend, we will go out, we will go to some 3D movie which is going to come, something you can imagine. So the mind keeps imagining sense enjoyment and doesn't do what it is supposed to do. That person in Gita is called as a hypocrite. So there is a famous story of this monk. There was a young monk and an old monk. They are going together, crossing a forest. And when they are going through the forest, there was a girl who was suddenly drowning in a lake. So this young monk jumps and saves that girl, brings her to the shores, sprinkles some water on her, makes her conscious. And then she thanks him and then she goes. And this young monk and old monk, both of them are walking and going. This old monk is very disturbed. How did this young man do this? He is a monk and he is not supposed to go and touch women. And why did he do this? And that too young woman was there. And then he jumped into that and then not only he touched her, he brought her. And then he kept her on the shores and my God, too much this is. And he kept on thinking like that. Finally that old monk could not control anymore. And he got angry on this young monk, saying that why did you do this? So that young monk said, I only jumped to save her, I had no other intention. I dropped her there, why are you carrying her so long? He actually did not even touch that lady. But constantly in the mind, what is he doing? Thinking about that girl. So physically he didn't do anything, but mentally he is constantly thinking of her. And this fellow physically has brought her, saved her, rescued her, and going on continuously. Now he is not mentally preoccupied with that girl. So we are where our mind is. And if we learn to bring the mind together where the body is, that person becomes a great achiever. So that is verse number 7. If you want one secret of success, verse number 7 is that secret of success. If you live this one verse, 100% success is guaranteed, excellence is guaranteed. See this 7th verse. Yastu indriyani manasa niyamya Arjuna karmendriyai karma yogam asaktasya vishishyate. He says, Yastu indriyani manasa, one who controls the senses with the mind and then begins the action. Where the mind is not dissipated in thinking about enjoyment, thinking about other things. Body and mind both are active. Meaning the mind is quiet, is present in the present moment, not imagining pleasure, and body wise is acting, very dynamic. So the body and mind are together, the BMI is integrated. BMI means body, mind, intellect, not body mass index. Body, mind, intellect, BMI. So body, mind, intellect are in one place. And such a person, karmendriya karma yogam, and with his senses and the body he is doing karma yoga, he is doing dynamic action, and such a person, asakta savishishyate, that person will excel. This is what the Gita says, that if you bring your mind where your hands are, with a quiet mind you do anything, you will become successful. But if the mind is disturbed, has anxiety, has regrets, has tension, has imagination of enjoyment, that mind is a weak mind. Full focus is not there. What is the latest super hit song? I don't watch TV or movies, so I don't know. Which one? Anything, Hindi. What? Something. You are studying and the mind keeps humming that song. How efficient will that be? You have to struggle so much to focus and concentrate because mind is somewhere else. Some new song has got released. Who is that? Priyanka Chopra and Farhan Akhtar have sung that song. Yesterday I saw on Facebook. They just released some new song. I didn't hear it. So the mind imagines that. Or you are reading the book, you are doing your study, and suddenly the mind thinks of Amitabh Bachchan and some song is sang sitting on the pot, the mind thinks of that. Something where your body is, the mind is not there. What you are doing there, the mind must be there fully. You know, Gurudev, when he went to meet one lawyer, because Gurudev was wanting to study law, and as a student in Lucknow University, he went to meet a top lawyer of that country. His name that time was Mr. Sapru. And that Mr. Sapru, very successful #1 lawyer in the country, Gurudev went to meet him as a youngster. And he said, can you please, he went and sat there for 30 minutes and Mr. Sapru didn't even look at him. He was doing some work. After 30 minutes, he raised his head and he saw Gurudev was sitting there. So he said, yes, young man, what can I do for you? He said, sir, I am a student of law and I want to know what is the secret of your success. And so he said, last 40 years, I have dedicated to law. I have not seen a single movie. I have not gone out for any more socializing. Fully, I am dedicated only to law. And then he gave him a secret. He says, live like a hermit and work like a horse. Meaning, live in sense control. You see a movie, you relax, you enjoy, not a problem. But it should not disturb the study or the work that you are doing. That's why in English they have that very famous saying, work while you work and play while you play. What we do, when we are working, our mind is thinking of playing. And when we are playing, the mind is thinking, oh God, so much of work is pending. We don't work while we work and play while we play. If we learn to do that, bring your mind where you are right now. So the greatest power in the world, what is the greatest power you can do? Concentration, okay? Confidence. Love. Willpower. Thought process. Positive thinking. I am glad all of you are giving such wonderful answers. They are the expression of one and the same thing. Otherwise, there are many external powers, nuclear power, solar power, so many different powers are there. But the greatest power is the power of thought. And if we learn to practice this economics of thought, how to create, conserve and channelize the thought energy, that is what the Gita teaches us. How to create positive thoughts, how to conserve the energy of the thoughts and inspiration so that mind doesn't become weak, and then how to channelize that towards my goal. Mahendra Singh Dhoni, he was in Australia for the World Cup. You know, his wife gave birth to a daughter. He could have flown down, but what did he say? My country needs me, so I am here. That is channelizing the energy. How much you would have also felt, I want to see my daughter, newborn. But country needs me, so she was there. That's the capacity to conserve the energy and channelize it. So to do this, karma with concentration matters, #karma matters. So, do you believe that multitasking is a good habit or we should not do multitasking? What do you think? Is multitasking is good?
Yes, not good.
It's not good. Lot of people do not multitasking today.
No, multitasking is bad.
How many of you feel we should do multitasking? Very good. How many of you feel we should not do multitasking? Majority of you are neither two should or should not. There is no other choice. Either it is do multitasking or don't do multitasking. Third choice is not there. Thanks. See, multitasking, we will see as we go along whether multitasking should be done or not done. Are you ready for an exercise?
Yes.
Will you do?
Yes.
Some of you may have done this earlier. If you have done this earlier, then return that sheet to the volunteer. Get that. But you must do that, okay? When they give you the paper, you have to hold the front side of the paper with you and should not begin the exercise because timing is important. Ignore all the numbered instructions except 12 and write letter pass into the boxes if empty. Are the boxes empty? 1, 2, 3, 4 is already written in that. So you can't write pass. You have to do nothing. You have to only keep the sheet as it is back. And you reveal all your secret pizza and pasta and other what will happen? You do one more exercise. You have a notepad and pen, no? Okay, so do one more exercise. What you have to do now is listen carefully. Don't talk, listen. You have to write in the first line. Listen fully and then do it, okay? In the first line you have to write number 1 to number 27. 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. And in the second line you have to write multitasking is the greatest myth. Got it? Simple. Exercise number 1 is write alpha numbers 1 to 27 continuously. Then write multitasking is the greatest myth. And this you have to time. You have to time by yourself. How much time will you take? Your time you can start anytime you like. First you have to time it when you start. How much time does it take? Write 1 to 27 and then write multitasking is the greatest myth. And write how much time you took for it. How much time you took for it? You wrote? Yeah, right these two. Done? Now, second exercise, you have to time this, okay? Second exercise is, you will write one number and one alphabet. So you will write 1, M, 2, U, 3, L. Same, 1 to 27 and multitasking is a myth, but you will switch between number and alphabet. Got it?
Which order? Which order?
Which order? Matlab same order. So what is the first number is 1. What is the first alphabet in that sentence? M, no? Multitasking the greatest myth, like that. But you have to time this now. No, you finish that and time it. How much time you take?
46 seconds.
Wow.
51 minutes.
One number, one alphabet. One number, one alphabet. Keep writing like that. So, how much time did you take, Kshitij? First time when you did?
18 seconds.
18 seconds. After that?
50 seconds.
56. 50. How much time you took? Yourself, yeah. No, behind. Yeah, yourself. Everybody would have taken more time than the first time, right?
Yes.
More than the time, did you see the thought process? Which was easy, first one or second one? Second one, you are doing two tasks simultaneously and mind goes on switching. More strenuous for the mind. That's what exactly happens when we do multitasking. In psychology, they say that our mind has a capacity called executive control. Executive control capacity is that when I am doing one work, all the factors which are not required for that work, the mind blocks out. That is called executive filtering capacity. It filters out. So that the mind focuses only on the job at hand and it does it efficiently. Now if you do two things at the same time, the mind doesn't know what to filter, what not to filter. So it includes everything, which means your mind is spending more energy and also spending more time. So if you are talking, the mind knows, okay, right now I have to talk. Everything else it filters away. But if you are talking and driving, now the mind keeps switching between the road, the traffic, the talking, and very difficult for the mind to know what to filter out. Slowly, such people, they become very stressed out because they can't decide easily. Why they can't decide easily? Because their mind doesn't know how to filter out, because they are doing more than one thing at a time. Just see this now, a small clip on this multitasking. This is a research which was done some time back, and now a lot of foreign psychologists, they tell us about this, that how multitasking is a myth.
Vendor booking. Oh, we got your invoice number. Hello? Come ahead, John. What's up? Yeah, I'm just want to go online. Did you hold on there? There you're coming. Yes, sir. I'm just finishing it now. Hey, what's up?
Why did I need that report?
Dog, gotta go. Dog, gotta go. Dog, gotta go. Mrs. Cat. Mrs. Cat? Mrs. Cat.
Why did
The fact is, multitasking is a myth. Our brains can't do it. You simply become less efficient and more distracted, your error rate goes up 50%, and it takes you twice as long to do the same task. Listen to what Tim Jenkins has to say. He's the co-founder of Point B, a leading business consulting firm.
Well, I think there's a fallacy out there that the folks that can multitask are more effective. There are times when it's just important to focus on one thing. I think we also need to give people permission to check out of the communications network temporarily to get things done. Because when you're always on, when you're always online, you're always distracted, right? And the brain is telling us that that is a very unproductive mode to be in. And so the always online organization is actually always unproductive organization.
So we need somewhere, how do we stop doing multitasking and learn to focus and do one thing at a time. And that if we learn, that's a very great step in our aspiration for success, doing one thing at a time. Many exercises are there. You can try one more. Lift your right hand, move it clockwise, keep moving it clockwise. Okay. Now you lift your left hand and move it anti-clockwise. You see what happens? Both are moving in anti-clockwise. And even if you are able to move one clockwise, one anti-clockwise, your attention keeps going to one and the other, whether it's going properly or not. See? But you are doing now, you are shifting your attention or not? It's not a mechanical process that is happening. Do it with your leg. One hand and one leg. Try. One, so leg goes anti-clockwise and hand goes clockwise. Do it. Do it, do it. With the hand and the leg, come on. Are you able to do?
Yes.
Together. You will have to put your attention on either one. You can't do it on both. You will leave one on reflex and focus on the other. That's what you will do. That's not multitasking. Two tasks at once. That's not efficient. Two tasks at once is not efficient. See, the research of psychology says 1 hour of focused work is equal to 3 hours of multitasking. Time also you save, efficiency, productivity, stress, mental energy, everything. Anything more than one job is just irresponsible. You can't give your full concentration to one. And when we think that there are certain things which are mechanical, there is nothing mechanical actually. It's a trick of the mind. Where we think it is mechanical and then we want extra methods of relaxation. If I focus at the job at hand, I spend lesser time, lesser energy, I don't get so exhausted. So even if it is like cutting vegetables somebody is doing, or every day you are supposed to clear some emails, or brush your teeth or whatever. If the mind is fully there where you are, you will see that the whole experience is only different. But generally we don't put the mind there. Our mind is wandering somewhere else. So when we want to apply that for our most important work, we are not able to apply. So we have trained the mind to do more than one thing at a time. So think about the tasks that you do simultaneously.
Eat and drink.
Eat and drink. That you are eating and then drinking. You are not eating, drinking separately.
While eating, watching.
While eating, you are watching TV. You know, those who want to lose weight, in the weight loss tips, it is a very important tip that you eat with full concentration. Because we don't eat with full concentration, we end up eating more. That is called compulsive eating or binge eating. If you actually chew properly and you are in that moment, the mind is quiet, you will eat much lesser and you will feel much more full. That is called satiety point. How quickly you reach the point of satisfaction. When we don't do that, our body we are not aware of, mind is looking at the TV or engaged in something else, gone. We keep eating. So we tend to overeat.
Driving and editing are all at the same time.
Driving and talking, running and doing, listening to the iPod, goes on.
Swamiji, they believe that if we multitask, our efficiency improves.
That's what they are saying now, that it's a myth, that's a false belief. Efficiency doesn't improve. It appears to improve, but in the long run the mind becomes dull. The mind becomes drained out. For a short moment you may feel, and it's not that you should never ever do. If you need to do two things just for that moment, it's an emergency or whatever it is, that's a different point. But it should not become my lifestyle. Nowadays everything is a lifestyle now. Multitasking has become my lifestyle. You see some examples which we have given here. Driving and talking, driving. You know, in the mountains if you go, in the Himalayas, in some of the areas, the drivers are not allowed to have a deck. Audio, they can't listen. Because it's ghat section, so they keep on going round the mountains. From one mountain to other they keep passing. Very distracting it is for them. And hence they have taken away that. So they want the full focus on the road. exercising while listening to the iPod. You exercise with full attention and you will see how much more fat you will burn, how much less the muscles are strained, and how much more flexibility comes. I tried this, so I know. In the gym you go, there's music going on and there's some people putting on the iPod and all that. The mind is not focused on the body, on the breathing. Mind is not focused, it's focused only on the music. So the person is not actually benefiting from the exercise as much the person can benefit if the person is focused on doing that one thing at a time.
But Guruji, sometimes with me, like I'm an artist, so what happens is that while listening to some music, some shallow, mellow music, while listening to that kind of music and I'm drawing, it actually comes out a bit more fluent and a bit more better than...
Yeah, but the point there is that you are not paying attention, no? It's just on the background there.
Okay.
It's going on
Yeah,
there.
because I've actually learned to keep it at the boundary.
So you are not focusing, your focus is still only on one.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not the music which is creating that. It is filtering out every other disturbance and so you are able to focus on that one thing.
Yeah, because it's filtering out the outside noise and it's only keeping one.
Exactly.
Noise is being filtered out.
Exactly. So it is filtering out all other noises so that you are able to focus on your creativity. That's all it is doing.
But sometimes when people run and I run, if I focus on my running, my legs feel good. But if I listen to music, then
That is only because you are not running in the right technique. Focus doesn't bring tiredness or no tiredness. Tiredness is coming because the way in which one is running, that is not happening. And when you are focusing, you are becoming aware of that fault. So it's better that you focus so that you rectify the technique of running and make it different.
Music distracts you from getting tired. From actually acknowledging the fact that you're tired while running. Or exercising, music sort of distracts from running.
But why do you need that distraction? If the body is tired, you should not push it. That's what the naturopathy and other, even the health trainers will tell you that. That body's flexibility is to be improved slowly. A little bit of pushing, of course one does, but why do I need to otherwise push unnatural? So I need that full attention on the body.
coming to the person who drives the ship, he constantly listens to the navigators to know whether there is any obstacle. Then it is multitasking, so it is bad.
No, there the form of instruction is not available. You see, that's why I said in that situation it's a necessity.
But they do it constantly.
Yeah, they need to do it constantly because through the satellite they are being guided. And the instruction is being communicated. Otherwise there is no way to... And even there the mind will keep switching. So the vehicle is on autopilot when this person is listening. Or is guide being guided when this person is listening to that. And accordingly moving the vehicle. So the mind keeps switching between listening and guiding, listening and guiding. You try doing that. Now GPS you put on Google Maps and then the Google Map will tell you from, after 200 meters take a left. So the mind will immediately go there and for that moment of instruction, when you are listening, the focus from the road is gone. To that much extent. Not fully gone, but to that extent it is gone. And suppose you don't understand. Because the Google Maps pronunciation is very funny. It will say Swami Vivekananda Road. It is Swami Vivekananda Road, but they don't know. It's an automated thing. So, for a second you will be like, what is he saying? Which road is that? So the mind goes there. Again it comes back. So the shifting is happening, but it happens so fast that you and I don't realize. So the point here is that if I learn to do one thing at a time, do it consciously. Just see this video of Guru Dev.
Naturally, the work becomes excellent. Excellent work shall produce excellent results. We cheat ourselves from our successes by our unintelligent dissipation of the mind in our over-anxiety for the fruits thereof. Krishna is giving a tip to Arjuna. Here is a wonderful field for you to achieve. And in achieving, do your journey. Fire out the battle. Let every arrow go and hit the point that you want to hit. Don't worry about the future. Don't be angry that their army is larger than our army. Will even don't dissipate and distract your mind. Keep your mind calm and serene. Your activity must be excellent. Is that all? Learn to work tasks with your mind where your hands are working. We don't do it. We work with our hand, our mind is wandering all over. So the hand that is working is a mindless hand. Mindless hand cannot afford to expect any great results. Hey, keep your mind where your hands are constant. Be here now and that. We are never here, we are everywhere but not here. Either we are wandering in the past, I should not have done it, I don't know why I did it, or you are in the future, will I get the result, etc. You are never here and now. Learn to be here and now. Bring all your mind and your attention and awareness there where the hand is doing a job. The performance will become excellent. Excellent performance will always give you excellent results. Here's a tip for how to achieve excellent results with your work. Continue.
Right. So this is it. Bring your mind where your hands are. That's the secret. If we learn, very, very crucial is that point. That let us learn to bring the mind where the hands are. And this is verse number. Which verse is this? This is verse number 7. In this Gita, this verse number 7 is very, very beautiful. The secret of all success is this verse 7. That way when I focus on my work and I do my work, that work will be my love made visible. People who don't love their work, they think that life is boring, everyone drags through the work. Because they are not fully there, they can't enjoy it. A musician who is playing the music gets so lost in that music. Does that musician do multitasking? Saying, Zakir Hussain says, while playing tabla, as I am playing tabla, just let me have a little sip of juice and then continue to play tabla. Again little sip, again tabla. Nothing, fully there. Whether it's Chinmaya or Dhoni or Kohli or anybody. While playing cricket, what are they doing? 2, 3 other things. They can't do. They have to focus on the ball which is coming. Before the bowler releases the ball from the hand, their eyes have to see that so clearly that what type of a release is that, so what type of a ball is going to come. Those of you who play cricket, you know that. There is a white screen behind, no? Side screen. Just so that you can see the hand movement of the bowler. And then you know what type of a ball is going to be released. And you prepare properly. And then you focus on that ball. There also it can't be a premeditated shot because the bowler's hand may release something, but the ball may come in some other way. That's why all kinds of bowling action people have. Just so that the batsman doesn't see the way the ball is released and what is the ball going to be. And the batsman has to pay full attention to the ball. Even if everybody is shouting, Sachin, Sachin, this Sachin can't say hi, hello. Nothing, he has to focus on that ball at the hand. One thing at a time. Excellence comes only when you learn to do one thing at a time. It's a different matter that you will somehow get away doing 2, 3 things and we feel, we have done it. But efficiency comes when I do one thing. And such an action will increase the love for it also. So this verse number 8 tells us about doing our duty. When I focus on the duty, one of the first principles of Karma Yoga is that do one thing at a time and then focus on the duty. Take page number 20 in your book. Niyatam kuru karma tvam karmajyayo ya karmanaha sharira yatra pichate na prasidhyeda karmanaha. So it says niyatam kuru karma tvam, do your duties, don't ignore. If I am a son, I have duty towards my parents. I am a student, I have duty towards my studies. I am a brother, I have duty towards my sister. So the duties constantly we must engage in, because the duty will keep the mind focused. Otherwise we can become inactive or reactive. One of the ways to be proactive is focus on the duty. Imagine if a student studies regularly, is there a need to burn midnight oil? And do group study, and then do night study in group. That is not required only if I study regularly. Swami, there is no fun in that. Fun is only when we all get together and study in group, and then drown also as a group. If I do my duty regularly, if every day I do my exercises, will I lose unnecessarily? Will I lose my health? Nothing. The body will be fit and fine. Regular exercise every day. But that's my duty. So if I focus on my duty, the concept of duty is very, very nice in our culture. Hindu culture, Indian culture is based on duties. It is not based on rights. If everyone does their duties, the rights of everybody else will be taken care of. We just need to focus on what is my duty and how to do it. So my duty is according to my stage in life, whether I am a student, I am a married person, according to my role in life, brothers, sisters, student, friend, son, so many roles we play. As a citizen of this country, citizen of this world, I have roles, I have duties. And according to my temperament, what am I made for? If I am made for music and I land up in medicine, I will start giving prescription in Sakam. That patient can't understand what is the doctor saying. Because I don't know anything better. I am not made for medicine, I am made for music. So according to my temperament, I need to choose my field. We will come to that later. That is called Swadharma. So do the duty based on the stage, based on the role, based on the temperament. And duties are definitely to express my gratitude and love. Lot of people think, oh God, I have to do this duty now, I have to study, I have to go to the market, I have to buy some vegetables for my family, I have to help my mom to do some dishes. One thinks it is boring. But remember, if the parents have not done their duty towards us, will we be what we are? How much we would have troubled them in the night when we were children. Now we trouble them in the day, that's a different matter. As night children, how much we would have cried and wailed and create such noise and not allow the parents to sleep. Get up in the morning at 2 o'clock and again get up at 4 o'clock, and what all one must have done. Not eat on time. The mother has to run behind the child, khale. That's why the Sholay dialogue is ना, दूर गांव में जब बच्चा होता है तो माँ कहती है कि चुप हो जा, तो गब्बर आ जाएगा. Like that. And eat, otherwise some daku will come. And earlier days they used to say, खा ले नहीं तो साधु बाबा उठा के ले जाएगा. Too much. As the sadhus have no other job than kidnap children. Just imagine today, a very sad situation is, 1 out of every 14 senior citizen is dumped by their own child. Dumped means what? The parent is abandoned by the children when they have become old, saying ki you take care of yourself, we have nothing to do with you. They literally kick them out. Condition for marriage is this: are you going to stay with your parents? Then I will not marry you. You just think. We are in that situation. So duties are how much they have done for us. It's our duty to take care of them. How much the country has done for us. What are we doing for the country? If I have love for the people, for the country, then I will do my duty joyously. It is an expression of my gratitude. And that's how duties make me very humble and helps me to get over my likes and dislikes. Whether I like it or not, I have a duty and I must do it. Parents did not like to wake up in the morning to disturb their sleep. Parents did not like that so many things we did in childhood which upset them, but they still nurtured us, nourished us, took care of us because they had the love for us. So when we have duties, we do it humbly, and whether we like it or not, we should do them. We gain mind mastery by that. Whether I like it or not, every day when I get up early and do my exercise, do my 10 minutes of meditation, do my study regularly, everything I do properly. People think that such a life is boring. That's not boring. Such a life is very exciting because when that person has done what has to be done, that person has a lot of time. There's great satisfaction in that life. So this niyatam kuru karmatvam means let us do our duty. Karma jayaya karmana. Because when we do our duty, it is better than being inactive and dull. Sharira yatra pichate na prasidhyeda karmana. Somebody who doesn't do their duty, even physically to be alive is not possible. Sharira yatra api. To eat is our duty, right? Luckily to breathe is not our duty. It is an automated process. If Bhagavan had left that to us, finished. It is boring to breathe and I don't want to breathe. Gone, we would have been dead. But Bhagavan left it automated, saying that breathing will go on, whether this fellow likes it or not, his breathing has to go on. So many people feel it's boring to do pranayama in the morning. It's so energizing. Actually, you just do 10 minutes of pranayama, so much of energy is filled in the body. So if I do my duty, what are the duties? When you have some time, sit and think about these 5 aspects. What is the duty that I have towards myself? Towards my own body. Now and then I eat some junk food or drink some aerated drinks, everybody does it, no problem. But if I live on that only, you just think what I am putting into my body. How much am I harming the body? My duty towards my body is to take care of it, make it healthy so that it's an equipment which lasts for the whole life with me. There are some people who live, their staple diet is only junk. One teacher asked in the school to a child, what is balanced diet? So the child said pizza in one hand, burger in another hand. That's a balanced diet. So we should know what is my duty towards my body, exercise, food, sleep. Do you know a lot of people in the corporate world today, they are getting heart attacks at such young age, 35, 36, 38. You know one reason why? Because they are not sleeping enough. They are getting 4 hours of sleep, 5 hours of sleep and body can't handle it beyond a point. So what are the duties I have towards myself, towards my body, towards my emotion, towards my thoughts? How many of us actually read something very inspiring every day to keep our intellect inspired? Not the regular subjects and study, not just the newspaper and glamour magazines. Something which will keep me inspired, self-help books or a nice story or some nice browsing you are doing on the net which will keep you inspired. That's great because intellectually we need to be inspired. So I have a duty towards myself, towards the family. How many of you help your parents? Not once in a while. Regularly. May not be every day, at least regularly in a week, 3-4 times. With a genuine intention, I want to serve and help. Good. We need to be sensitive to this. What are we doing for the society? What am I doing for my country? Every day I can do one act for my country. Last year when we had a camp, we had come up with this idea. It was a camp around the August 15th, around the Independence Day. So we said every day I will do one thing for my country and I will post it on Facebook with the hashtag I did it for India. It may be I may teach somebody, it may be that I may sow a plant, or it may be that I may clean some garbage is there, I take it and put it in the dustbin. It may be anything. I may follow a traffic rule. Something I need to do that. What did I do for my country today? Every moment country is doing so much for me. What did I do for my country today? One act, just one act done consciously for the country will keep me connected to my country, will be active patriotism. And what do I do for my culture and my universe? This culture in which I am born, such a glorious culture, the most ancient culture in the world is the culture of India. And you know it is called what culture? The most Indian ancient civilization is? Indus Valley is what we are taught. But today, historians have proved that the most ancient civilization is the Saraswati civilization. Indus Valley was much later. Saraswati civilization is more than 10,000 years old. And we belong to that civilization. And we are living that civilization even now. Aryan invasion never happened also. That all has been fabricated in history and being taught to us just so that we feel inferior, that we do not have a great culture. The culture which is great came from outside to us. It was only created to make us feel bad. So what do I do for this culture of ours? Where I am born and brought up with such good values, such deep spiritual knowledge, such diversity in culture in my country. Nowhere else in the world you will find this kind of diversity. This kind of richness in food, in clothes, in languages, in so many different things. So it's one thing just to be proud and say, unity in diversity, but what did I do for that? For my culture? Do you even know culture is getting extinct?
Yes.
Just like everybody says, save the tiger, save the rhino, save the environment, save the nature. One needs to save the culture from being extinct. So what is my duty towards the culture? And what is my duty towards the whole universe? These are different areas, 6 different areas where one can think that what am I doing towards these, and then see how I can be an active contributor in these. And when I do these, imagine how much of my potential will manifest. Right now I am only thinking of I, me and mine. When I think of the society, of the family, of the country, the culture, the universe, so much more potential manifests. So duties are a beautiful way to manifest our potential, and hence the Lord says, do your duty, bound in duty, niyatam kuru karmatvam. More about this we will take up in the morning session tomorrow.